was really good. Fly Nation TV, we here, man, and I can't really miss this opportunity because I don't really interview people that's outside of New York, unless I'm at a major. But we're blessed to have one of the, not only the fastest rising star in our scene, looking really nice with the little. Oh,
you like it?
Yeah, man.
Try and mix it up a little bit.
Facial, man. Brian F., how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very good. Out here at ECT in New York, having a good time, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Salute to ECT as always. I like to always do the intro as like something that how we met. We met a couple of times, but
right.
I guess I'm gonna kind of go online with this one. I first heard of you as Brian F. when you was playing the Kali when Street Fighter 5 just came out.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, this guy's really good. And then I ran into your stream. I think later that day, randomly, right?
Okay.
I just have to go on Twitch. I'm like, oh, this guy's streaming. And I was like, oh, this guy's really good. He knows his stuff. He's very articulate with the way how he plays and everything. And he's like a strategist. I'm like, yo, we need somebody like that in our scene, man. And like 5 years later, here you are now, man. Living the time of your life. Having one of the best fighting game YouTube content, in our scene. And yeah, I feel like I was right about you all along, man. I'm happy for your growth.
Appreciate it.
So let's talk about that, man. What kind of like got you driven into keeping consistent with the streaming stuff?
Well, yeah, like you said, I've been streaming for a long time now. So I was playing in Street Fighter 4. I'm from Miami, Florida, so I was playing in the South Florida scene, playing Street Fighter 4, and grinding that game a ton, going all over Florida for all the locals, but wasn't really traveling. I was a college student, didn't really have the means to do that. But when Street Fighter 5 came out, I started streaming at the end of Street Fighter 4 just on a whim, because thought it was cool. And that wasn't really a thing back then. There wasn't too many home streams. It used to be a term, home streamers, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't really a thing. And there was just a few people beyond like Justin Wong, Snake Eyes, you would see it would be an event when Pure Rock hopped on Twitch, or Justin Wong or Snake Eyes. It was a big deal because it was rare. But beyond that, there wasn't too many people. There was Bronx Porter Rock. That's the other guy that inspired me at that time. A lot of people.
That's the homie, man.
Yeah. He's from Florida too originally, right? And he played Akuma, and he had the whole layout and everything. And I remember his tagline was grab your fight stick and your fight pack for going up. Take everybody with us. I remember that every time we got a follow or anything, and I was like, okay, maybe I can do this. I'm playing online a bunch, so I just tried it out, and I downloaded OBS on my student laptop, and I normally played 360, but I didn't have a capture card, so I literally would play Street Fighter 4 PC on low resolution in the corner of my laptop screen with OBS on the other side, and I would play there just horrible graphics, horrible resolution, just because it worked, And then I slowly just kept building up an audience from that, and PC competition was free. I grinded to #1 Balrog on PC real quick. They weren't as good as 360, but then a few people were actually donated. I got 10 viewers. They donated to give me a capture card because I had no money at the time.
Wow, dude.
And then I got to play on an actual 360. That's where the real competition is. So I just kept doing that, and then I graduated, got a job, so started funding my own stream. Switched to PC, get a capture card, have the actual full setup, and I just kept doing it, kept going.
Did you originally did you want it to become a streamer, or did you want it to? Because I see you both in you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You always, I know you want to be a competitor, but did you ever have streaming in mind? What?
Well, at the time, the idea of being even the word content creator, this is 2015, 2016, that didn't exist. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't a buzzword like it is now. Okay. So I was basically the way I viewed it was I was documenting my journey. That's all it was. I just showed you how I practice, because I was going to do that regardless. I was going to be grinding regardless. So literally it was just why not just stream what I'm practicing?
Yeah.
And then that's just how I viewed it for a long time. And then when Street Fighter 5 dropped, I was just doing the same thing. That's when I started doing a bit more YouTube stuff too. I was like, okay, let me post some tech videos. Let me try to edit something together, put it on YouTube, because I was learning new stuff, and that helped me. A lot of people know me from Nikali Season 1. I put out these tech videos. They're kind of music videos almost. I was for every knockdown, here's the setup you do, and I was timing it with some sick music, some future funk beats and stuff like that. And then those kind of blew up. Those got 30K, 40K views, which is a lot for at the time. No subs, no one knew what I was doing. So that was me both documenting my own tech for me to improve, sharing it with other people, kind of growing. But yeah, I viewed it as solely me showing the grind. Like there was no secrets, you know, like a lot of top players, like you don't know where they came from. Like, dude, the footage is out there. I've been just streaming all my practice. 99% of the time I've ever played has been streamed, just me grinding. Like there's no secret. I just put a ton of hours in. That's all there is. Like there's no secret to it.
And it looks like it's paying off, man.
Right.
You always hit your sub goals. It looks like you've always reached a new milestone on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like you got everything working together, and I couldn't be more happier, man.
Yeah, the ball started rolling. Yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you know, being sponsored by EQNX, you know, that's a big thing too. You know, and still with them. How long you been in with them now? Like 2-3 years now?
It's been since 2019. So I signed with them after final round 2019 March. So yeah, I guess more than 2 years now. Yeah.
Right.
So it's been a good time.
I mean, when you signed with them, how's the experience been? Like what was like? Did any new changes as far as like?
I like it because it was no changes.
Oh, good.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're just like supporting me in what I do because you know, I've already been doing the content thing for a long time, so. I always felt like that's what I provided more than like, even if I was never like the top 5 USA players, maybe top 10 on a good spree, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm.
No, you had a good run. Yeah, you've been grinding.
Yeah, I'm always kind of in there, but I know I'm not like number 1 or anything, right? But like what I provide that other players don't is, you know, I got eyeballs on what I'm doing. You know, I got the YouTube now, especially since 2020. Like, you know, I took that opportunity to really focus on that more. And even before then, I was streaming for like 200 plus people regularly for years, which a lot of people can claim, right? That's kind of baby numbers in the grand scheme of things, but for Street Fighter V FGC stuff, that was kind of consistent and something that I offered. So that was the main thing I looked for in a team was like, you know, I'm already working full time. It's like, money's nice, but like, are you gonna like support me, promote me, or are you gonna, you know, make me be something I'm not? Like, that's more important to me. Like, don't make me be something I'm not. Don't try to, you know, just try to support me, because at the end of the day, you know, I can pay for my own flight to go to a tournament. You know what I'm saying? My stream will support me to go to a tournament. Like, I don't need a sponsor. That's why I didn't. You know, I got some offers. I didn't really bite on them for a while until something kind of felt right. So, EQNX has been just sweet. Like,
you never. Obviously, it doesn't look like you didn't regret that decision one bit. You know, still rocking the tee right there. That's a fire tee right here. Where we can get
that's
that?
one of my favorites. Yeah, they got a lot of good designs.
Where can we get? Where can we get one of those tees, man?
They got a merch store. You know, I got the link somewhere, but yeah, they got their. If you go to the EQNX Twitter, they got it.
Yeah, DM me. You got a discount code on your link?
No, we don't got that yet. I've been telling them though. I've been telling them.
You know, hint. You know,
I've been telling them.
Hint. You know, we can work something out.
maybe so. It's not a bad idea.
You know, link will be in the description, man. If you guys want to cop their gear, man. And speaking of gears, you got some other stuff too. Yo, you know what's crazy? You got that. Shout out to Biggie. You got that. You got the coffee thing, right? That was so random. You know what's funny? Because your I don't know if your Twitter profile, not your Twitter, your Twitch profile pic is the same, but it was just no, not even that. You on your stream, you just have like a random emoji holding a coffee.
Yeah, that's been there from day one.
Yeah, it's still there, right?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, man. And now he's like, you got sponsored from a company that makes them.
I got officially acknowledged. Yeah, Peets was like the brand of coffee that I started buying a lot. And, I just randomly got it one time. I think it was like a gift from somebody, and then I started just drinking that. And so that was kind of my jokingly shill thing. Like anytime I did good at a tournament, I'd be like, "Oh, shout out to Peets," like I would just be doing that for like 2 years straight. I was just randomly tagging them, like trying to get acknowledged because Peets is like a big brewery, but not like the biggest coffee company. You know what I'm saying?
I know Peets. Yeah, I know Peets very well.
Like they're more of like a West Coast thing too. So that was kind of like I was just finding them at random stores. And
man, that's cool, man.
Yeah, finally, I won NLBC, and someone was like, "Oh, maybe Peets will finally respond." And then they dropped the eye emoji. And I was like, "Word!" And then, you know, we got the follow. We started making some connections there, and they dropped the discount code. So Peets.com, discount code Brian F. right there.
All right, so next topic we're gonna talk about. You've been doing a lot of CPT content as of late with your partner in crime, RobTV, man.
Yep, shout out to Rob.
So how did that even came about?
Well, I guess since like in 2020 when I started focusing on YouTube more, that kind of grew. So I did a lot of like match analysis for viewers or just like talking about the game. So I think I kind of built up this body of work. So, but I think that kind of got my name out there a little bit more in terms of getting recognized by like Capcom. So basically they just hit me up for the CPT 2020 season finals to do analyst stuff, and they just kind of said like, yo, like, you want to come and do between rounds, like talk about the game, you know, like they didn't tell me the details, but I'm pretty sure it's because they saw me doing that just on my own content. So they're like, okay, like he knows how to talk about the game, and yeah, they just hit me up, and I was like, it's an opportunity for sure. Like I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
And then they just paired me and Rob up randomly. Like that wasn't really like planned, but then they just kind of liked our chemistry. You know, we're kind of roasting each other a bit. You know, I'm the much more like kind of calm, and I'm like the straight man. He's like the funny guy. You know what I'm saying? So like he'll go crazy, and then I'll just like make some dry sarcastic remarks. So like the style works real well together. So after that, like they liked what we did, so they just hit us up to do like the pre-show for CPT. So now we got No Neutral going pretty much every single event. We record some stuff talking about random FGC topics, you know, reviewing the last tournament, going over some matches, talking about those, previewing the next event, trying to hype up the scenes, because you know this CPT season's mostly, we're doing online because of COVID, but it's really about like just highlighting the different regions. So that's something we try to do, is to make sure to do some research and like know the scene. They like that we're players, so like we know these people personally. We've had some connection with these guys, and so we can tell the stories, like the behind the scenes stuff that a lot of people don't get to know. And I think that's super important to set context. Like when you're watching those online tournaments, the gameplay is good, but the hard part is like you don't really have the context of the drama or like the personal part. You don't get to see the emotions. Yeah. So that's what we try to do, is kind of like bring up the names of the players, like their background, so you kind of get the story and the history behind them.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
It's been awesome.
And I'm glad it's working out very well, man, because you know both of you are very entertaining, and I see both of you are like your rise like from within the pandemic. You know, it's like a kind of like a gift and a curse in a weird way.
Yeah,
right?
I try to take it as an opportunity, because like we mentioned earlier, I was just kind of grinding. Streaming was my diary of like, here's me trying to be good at the game, right? But when COVID was happening, there's no tournaments. It's like I took that time to say, okay, let me like invest in this, because I was editing my own YouTube videos. You know, I was working full time, streaming on the weekend, trying to edit together at least one video a week, push those out, and that just wasn't like. There's just not enough hours in the day, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
So then I invested in an editor at that point, AA, and I tried him for a trial video, and I just, here's some ranked footage, like, can you make a video? Like, let me see what you do. And it was just like magic, and I was like, bro, like, can you like keep doing videos with me? And since then, like, it's
Are you still working with him?
Oh yeah. Since
what's his Twitter, man? You know, I definitely got to plug him.
AA is a big 2XA is his Twitter handle.
Well, I mean, either way, I'll hit you up on Twitter. We'll get that. We'll get on the description.
He's a Marvel player from the Midwest, so some people might know him from Marvel 3.
Okay. That's what's up, man.
So yeah, like he knows the games and stuff, so it's not just the fact that he can like craft stories out of your footage and like edit it, but like he understands the games. Like that's hard to find someone who gets like the hype moments and stuff. And so that let me just focus on the content, and like I can still grind, but then I can do segments where I just talk about interesting topics or share knowledge and try to like just bring people in who might not know as much as we do, or stuff that we take for granted. Yeah. Because YouTube has, like, that's where the big audience is. We're in our bubble on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube. There's tons of new people out there who are interested in fighting games and just don't have the content to kind of like lure them in. So I've been trying to focus on that while trying to do the competitive thing to just bring new people into the scene.
That's what's up, man. You know, this is what I'm seeing. Like, it seems like you always put, not only, you don't put yourself first, you just put the community first. You just like I said, you just use the diary.
Right.
And people just following your diary.
I mean, I'm still doing my thing. I'm not trying to act like it's super selfless, right?
No, I know.
But I do feel like there's a need in that, because like you look at other scenes and other games. Like for a while, I was like, why don't we have this? And then eventually, I was like, let me just do it. You know?
Here we are now, right?
Yeah.
So I caught on that you mentioned about, you know, giving other regions a shot, right? Mm-hmm. There's been some talks.
Okay.
When it comes to that, right? And I'm going to only speak on, I guess for now we'll speak on North America, and then we'll speak on other regions, right? Sure. You said on Twitter, in verbatim, I don't want to like say it word for word, but you said something about Midwest. Is it Midwest? Mm-hmm. Or West Coast is like matching up, like to be like that good, you know, compared to.
I don't remember the exact tweets, but we talked about it on No Neutral. Well, are you trying to get my opinion on West Coast versus East Coast? Is that where this is going?
Probably.
Okay. Right. Well, I think one of the main things recently was because I moved from Wisconsin to Texas, so that moved me from being in the East Coast region for online tournaments, NLBC, to WNF, right?
Yeah.
So NLBC, that's like hard. That's a hard weekly. Like you got Punk, IDOM, and then even beyond that, you got RobTV, you got Mantric, you got
competition
Metro,
is like
you got
really tough.
Art, you got whatever. It just keeps going and going, right? Like if you go, there's warlords who go 0-2 at NLBC. That's just like the level, right?
Yeah.
So it's tough. And then I went to West Coast, and I didn't enter right away, but then I entered after a couple weeks. I entered WNF, and then I won the first one I entered. So I tweeted out, I was like, won my first WNF ever. For comparison, it took me 50 plus tries to win NLBC. Thinking emoji, you know what I'm saying? So I was just trying to stir the pot a little bit.
I hear you,
know
man.
What I'm saying?
All in the competition, yeah.
Right,
right.
Because I felt like WNF wasn't really like popping off as much, like not getting as much shine. So I was just trying to like stir the pot, get people to tune in. I'm not really like the bad guy. That's not really I don't like talk that much smack usually. That's not really my kind of character. But every once in a while, I like to just, if I have the moment,
just a little jab,
just like poke a little bit, just to get people, just to light a fire under their butts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. You know, do you feel like? Do you feel the East? I think you feel the East Coast region.
I think.
All right, let's say, you know what? I don't want to say
has more like, if I'm gonna like just say like S tiers like Punk and IDOM. And then there's a few like A+, like maybe like Shine and a few others. I feel like East Coast has more A tier players, like a lot.
A lot of A tier?
A lot.
Okay.
Like there's a lot of really strong players there. West Coast, I feel like doesn't have as many of those players, but they got a lot of A+ players. They got like Nephew, and Nephew's like kind of working his way up to that next tier, right?
Yeah.
They got JB, Chris CCH is great, Samurai, and they got others. They got Jot. He's kind of like an unknown, like not unknown to the players, but doesn't have as much of a like a public persona.
Yeah.
But they don't have as many like. The depth of field isn't as high, I would say, on the West Coast.
Okay, that's a fair.
But the players you know of, they're good, man. I didn't win. I haven't won another at WNF since then. I got like third like 4 times in a row, and then I've been playing Oro, so I've been getting washed. But you know, I'm not trying to act like they're bad.
Anyway? How you feel about Oro?
I mean, he's mad fun. I'm having the time of my life playing him, but I think he's kind of.
On a competitive, like high level,
I think
what it takes.
As Nemo would say, he's trash, which means he's probably like low mid tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not worth maining for a competitive. Like I don't know what matchups he wins at this point, but I'm still having fun with them. And my CPT tournament for Midwest isn't for another 2 months, so I'm not like at the moment trying to like peak competitively, you know what I mean? Like you kind of go with like an ebb and flow with motivation and drive. So like right now, it's like I have time to kind of just
relax a little bit.
Relax and try to learn something new and grow in other ways. And then come closer to CPT, you know, it'll be back to the grind. I'm trying to peak. You don't want to burn out before it's time to really show. So like I don't got to play till December something or another.
All right, well, you got a couple more months. Yeah, definitely, man. Enjoy that, man. Sure. So CPT, right? Midwest, IDOM. All right, so I had an interview with IDOM a few months ago, and he was saying like certain regions, the way how CPT is ran, he felt like, you know, some regions should have more events. He feel like East Coast should have 3 events. He feels like West Coast should have 3 events. He feel like Japan should have 3 or 4 events. You know what I'm saying? And he feel like there's like other regions, like not known regions, getting like more than 1 event. You know, I want to see like what is your take on it? What do you think would be a proper assessment, like as far as opportunity? All right, brother, take care, guys. Yeah, like how do you feel like how if there's a narrative? I don't know if the pandemic still didn't get lifted or anything like that for next season. How do you feel like what should change?
Well, they did scale it a bit like that, so maybe he disagrees with how they did it. Like Japan has 4 events, they do have that.
Yeah.
So they did do that, and some regions only have 1. But I mean, you're gonna piss somebody off no matter what, and I feel like someone's gonna get dropped no matter what. Because like one of the examples that I think of is like the Middle East region. They only get 1 qualifier, but there's Angry Bird and Big Bird there, and those are easily top
the 2 best in the like UAPress, I think.
They're always top 32 in the world, right? They qualify for Capcom Cup. They have deep runs, 2nd place at Evo. Angry Bird got like 4th or 5th at Capcom Cup one time. You know what I mean? Like they both are easily
very, very talented,
easily
very
Capcom
talented,
Cup qualifiers. But then like CPT Midwest, we got 2, and you know I kind of agree. Like we're not necessarily on that level, but there's a lot of players there. There's like after Big Bird and Angry Bird, there's a few others, but then it falls off quick. Whereas CPT Midwest, there's a lot of people.
A little bit more,
So I don't know if there's an ideal solution for it. Yeah, East Coast having 2. Like
think they
if
should have 3 at
Japan
least?
has 4, East Coast having 2 is fine with me. That's how I feel.
Fair
I
enough.
can see the argument saying Midwest should only have 1. I can see that argument.
Yeah,
But-
he's not dissing them. He's just going, I guess, like I said, he's just going based off,
based off the results, I get it,
The
yeah.
result level, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Japan's like we don't even know who's the best in Japan.
Them having 4 is good. Like they
Yeah.
have 4 now,
Yeah.
so they did do that because Japan and just like Eastern Asia, they definitely need more qualifiers because the average level. There's too many good players there. Like it wouldn't be an accurate representation in Capcom Cup.
Right.
But I kind of get it. Like there's some regions like that they're not quite at the level and they have 2 events. But I also feel like the goal of CPT this year. It might sound weird. It's not necessarily to be the best of the best of the best because we just can't have that right now.
Yeah.
It's not a reality. The goal of CPT this year is to highlight the best of each region.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree.
That's the primary goal.
That's
So a region getting 2 events that's not as known and the players don't have the same results, like, you know what I mean? Like the whole point is so that you get to know their names and they get a shot to show what they can do against the best. So
what's up.
if we're gonna scale it by results, Japan should have 16 qualifiers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're literally have Capcom Cup every year, minimum.
Yeah.
So give Japan 16 qualifiers, then give 1 to the rest of the world, like every other region.
Yeah.
So
Because we know, like, come on, without question, Japan's the strongest region.
Yeah,
Total.
yeah. Free,
Accumulated, yeah, they're the strongest. Where do you think the North America ranks at?
in terms, like if I'm gonna compare different regions,
Yeah. What do you
so
think?
Japan's
What do you think
number
where we
1.
left at?
And then like I think it's close between Europe and USA. I think USA has more like A-tier players. Like we used that kind of grading scale earlier. I would say Europe has more, or sorry, USA has more A-tier players than Europe, but there's a lot of like A+ players in Europe and S players. Like they got Problem X, Infectious, Mr. Crimson. And then they got like and then Hurricanes up there. The Four Phils, shout out to Four Phils who just qualified. So there's a lot of players that can challenge a lot of American players. But I would say USA has the most amounts of strong players after Japan. And there's also like Korea. You know what I'm saying? It gets tough. I think you're looking at volume at that point. But if you're looking at just the peaks, like we got Punk and Idom, so it's like
Yeah. Hold us down, guys.
it depends,
Please, hold us
on
down.
how you judge it, how you value. So if you're looking at more like average with volume, like scaling it, then USA is pretty good because we just got a lot of good players. But the best are in Japan. We have the best in America too, at the top 2. And then after that, it's like, I don't know. You can't slice it up that much thinner. I don't know how you're gonna decide.
So right now, who you think is your top 5, like currently in the world?
In the world, Punk and Idom are up there. I want to say Tokido, but he hasn't been showing up as much as he should.
I'm talking about currently too. We're not gonna go. We go by, you're as good as you are last year.
I'm gonna use like a real short window of paying attention because like what have you done for me lately kind of view. So I'll say Punk and Idom, then Higuchi because he just won. Why not? Higuchi or Kawano, like one of those 2. And then
I feel about Crimson, man. His run has been very remarkable as of late too. He's been.
Yeah, I mean, result-wise, he's had the most opportunity because he had his CPT and the exhibition and Red Bull Kumite, and then he won all of them. So I'd have to give it to Mr. Crimson just objectively.
Yeah.
I think the main takeaway is that there's too much competition, and like it's all limited and pocketed areas, so it's really hard to judge right now.
I mean, I think that's where we are at this point. Every let's say when premieres start happening again, everybody's good. You remember when we went to Combo Breaker? We talked about this. That Combo Breaker that year, 2019, everybody that entered that tournament was good. You can't sleep on anybody.
Yeah, it's not the same as it was pre like Street Fighter V CPT. Like the world started traveling in Street Fighter V. Like every major you go to, there's people from all over the planet and a whole squad of them. So it's not like you're gonna have like 1 or 2 international killers. You're gonna have the whole squad that goes to every event. And it's just tough. Yeah, there's a lot of good players out there.
Hey man, like I said, man, like people like you are keeping the game strong. 5-year run, still doing great. Numbers actually a little bit better now because, like I said, there's more people have more time to watch and everything. Content-wise, has been doing very well as of late, especially on Twitter and YouTube. Like I said, man, we have the platform, and I'm glad that people like you are executing it very well. And like I said, man, it can only get better, right?
For sure.
It can only get better. Real quick, you play Melty?
Nah,
you have interest? You have
I
any
haven't-
interest on that?
I'm like 50-50 on it. Like I'm on that Oro kick right now, so that's all I'm really on. So maybe when that dies down, I might check it out.
All right.
But
No, but I'm just asking. Yeah.
I definitely don't see it as something I play long term. But I might dabble a little. You know,
That's
get
what's
some
up.
movement in there. You know.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. All right, man. So what's next for you, man?
Next, I guess back to the content grind, and the next big event is just CPT. You know, I'm gonna try to qualify for Capcom Cup. Rob got the first spot, I got second, so just gonna try to be ready for that and hopefully make it to Capcom Cup. Hopefully I'll be analyzing my own matches, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
get to the finals, and sorry I can't do commentary this time. Gotta actually play, so that's what I'm looking forward to right now.
That's what's up, man. Any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to EQNX as always. Thanks for supporting me. Shout out to everybody who supports me, watches the content, tunes into the streams, and shout out to everyone just playing fighting games, Street Fighter V and grinding right now. I really respect all the players who during COVID still, like, online's not ideal, but I really respect the people who grind and try to make the best of it and keep supporting the community. So shout out to all you guys.
All right, man. And probably the dumbest question I'm probably gonna ask for this interview. Where can people find you at?
On Twitter, it's BRI4NF. So
Oh, you're one of those. I forgot.
I can't land the
I'm
real
that too.
handle.
D Nice. I have 3 in my.
Yeah, I'm trying to. If someone from Twitter could hook me up, but the rest of it is Brian_F, BRIAN_F on YouTube and on Twitch, so you can find me there.
All right, man. Brian, like I said, man, I really appreciate you know, spending the time to do this, man. Like I said, you're one of the realest guys I've seen, and I've seen your growth, man. I just gotta give nothing but praises, man. I wish nothing but the best for you, and also for your peoples as well, man. Like,
Thanks, man.
Keep doing you, man. All right, it's your boy D Nice, and we out. Peace, y'all.